Happy 4th of July, everybody. All right, let's dive into the next real estate market update. Just a quick outline of what we're going to cover. We're going to go over Massachusetts, Bristol County, Rhode Island, Florida, and then some multifamilies. We're going to talk a little bit about investing. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about my hometowns. So what I've been doing lately: Swansea, Seekonk, Somerset, Dighton, Rehoboth, Warren, Bristol, Barrington, towns like that. So let's dive right into it. So what's been going on in Massachusetts for the last 30 days? So Massachusetts is still looking pretty hot as far as real estate goes. So on average, you know, the average sales price for the last 30 days, single family homes, Massachusetts, $823,000. Average list price, $798,000. So on average in Massachusetts, you know, 4% above asking is what's been going on. And this is based on 3,922 homes, you know, throughout Massachusetts. And the average days on market, 28 days on market. So things are selling faster, you know, and they're still going above asking price in Massachusetts. What about Bristol County? What's been going on in Bristol County? So in Bristol County, average sales price, $572,000. Average list price, $559,000. So on average, homes are going 3% above asking. Average days on market, similar to Massachusetts, 29 days on market on average in Bristol County. And some of the price points that jumped out to me in Bristol County, actually some of the lower price points, and those could be flip homes, rehab homes, I'm not sure. I didn't go take a look at, you know, the properties themselves, but just based on the numbers, that's probably what these types of homes were. So from $150,000 to $199,000, there were 2 homes that sold in Bristol County in that range. And on average, they went 1% below asking. And then also from $200,000 to $249,000, there were 2 homes sold in that range, and they went on average 4% below asking. So, you know, all the other categories, you know, above that, the middle categories are all above asking, 3%, 4%, 2%, 1%. But what was interesting is on the higher end properties in Bristol County, you also saw the trend of going below asking. So that was kind of odd to me when I looked at the lower price and then the higher price point, where all the middle price points were, you know, above asking. So let's look at the higher price points. So the higher price points, you know, pretty much anything over 2 million went below asking. So from 2 million to 2,499,000, there were 2 homes in that category, and they went on average 4% below asking. And then the next category up, 2,500,000 to 2,999,000, there was 1 home, and it went 3% below asking. Then also in the $3 million to $3,999,000 range, there was 1 home that sold, and that one went for 11% below asking. So they listed the home at $3,995,000, and they sold the home for $3,550,000. So what about Rhode Island? So Rhode Island, the average sales price, $559,000. Average days on market, 25 days on market. So things are selling even a little bit quicker in Rhode Island. And what about Florida? So Florida, the average sales price was $466,000. Average days on market, still high in Florida, 46 days on market. And then the average sales price, you know, they're going about 1.1% below asking, which is kind of the trend that it's been in Florida. And since we're talking about Florida, let's just talk about one city in Florida, Orlando. The average sales price in Orlando was $468,000. So a little bit higher in Orlando. And also the homes are selling a little bit faster in Orlando, only 33 days on market. All right, let's dive into investing. So if you're looking into investment options, the multifamilies in Massachusetts, average sales price, $790,000. Average list price, $780,000. So on average, 3% above asking for multifamilies throughout Massachusetts. And that's based on 477 properties. And the average days on market, 32 days on market on average. So a couple categories that jumped out to me. One, again, when you're looking at the lower price point properties, from $150,000 to $199,000, there was 5 properties that sold in that range. And on average, they went 5% below asking. And then, you know, all the other ranges from 200,000, you know, all the way up to 1,999,000, you know, on average are all above asking. But then you know, another trend like we were just looking at, when you look at from 2 million to 2,499,000 multifamilies, there were 10 homes sold in that price point range, and on average they went 3% below asking. And then the range rate above that, 2,500,000 to 2,999,000, there were 6 multifamily properties sold in that range, and they went on average 5% below asking. There's one category I did do well that was, you know, over the $2 million range, and that was from 3 million to 3,999,000. There were 2 properties sold in that range, and they actually went for 4% above asking. But then right after that, when you jump into 4 million, 5 million, you're looking 3% below asking, 4% below asking. You know, so you're starting to see a little bit of a trend where some of the higher end properties, 2 million plus, are going below asking. You know, everything in between is above asking, and then the lower price point properties, you know, are going below asking also. So what about Bristol County for multifamilies? So in Bristol County, the average sales price was $521,000. The average list price was $512,000. So they went on average 2% above asking. Average days on market in Bristol County, you know, a little bit higher, 37 days on market on average. And that was based on 59 multifamily sold, you know, in Bristol County. As far as category to look at, it kind of jumps around. It's not as consistent as like Massachusetts was, but there was one category that really jumped out, and that was the $300,000 to $349,000 range. There was 3 properties that sold in that range, and they went on average 13% below asking. And then, you know, the category rate above that, 350 to 399, there was 1 home in that range, and that went 5% below asking. So, you know, there are some deals in multifamilies if you look at it, but then there's also a category like, you know, 450,000 to 499,000, 11 homes sold, and they went on average 6% above asking. So, you know, not all multifamilies are deals. You got to kind of find the right one, but just looking at price points real quick, those categories kind of jumped out at me. And then for Rhode Island, for multifamily properties, you know, average sales price, $535,000. All right, so now let's dive into my hometowns. So Swansea, whew, from last month to this month, big change. So in Swansea, the average sales price, 6% above asking. Average sales price in Swansea, $503,000. Average list price, $478,000. And that was based on 9 homes. Average days on market is high, but I'll get into that in a minute. 43 days on average on market. But there was one home in particular that was listed at $439,000, and it ended up selling for $439,000, but it was on the market for 142 days. So that kind of skewed the numbers up, you know, a little bit, obviously. And then one other price point that jumped out to me in Swansea was in the range from $250,000 to $299,000. There were 2 homes sold in that range, and they went on average 12% above asking. So, you know, every category, every price point in Swansea, you know, on average was above asking price. All right, what about Somerset? So Somerset, you know, still looks good in Somerset. We got 3% above asking on average. The average sales price, $484,000. Average list price, $471,000. Average days on market, 18. So things are selling fast in Somerset. And that was based on 22 homes. So, you know, wider sample than Swansea. And if you look through all the categories, again, 2% above, 4%, 3%, 3%, 4%, 3%, even. You know, if I had to pick one category to take a look at, I guess it would be the $500,000 to $599,000 range. There was 2 homes sold in that category. Average days on market, only 10. But those went on average 4% above asking. What about Seekonk? So Seekonk, they're looking pretty good too. 5% above asking on average. Average sales price, $591,000. Average list price, $563,000. Average days on market, only 22 days on market on average. And that was based on 17 homes in Seekonk. So one category that jumped out to me, but it was just 1 home. But it kind of was the only one that kind of didn't flow with all the rest, because every other category was above asking, you know, on average. But, you know, there was 1 home that was listed at $399 and it sold for $385. So it went for 4% below asking. And what about Dighton? Dighton, just like the other towns in the hometown, you know, same trend. So they're going 5% above asking. Average sales price in Dighton, $611,000. Average list price, $584,000. Average days on market, 21 days on market. But this is only based on 5 homes. But still, those are the numbers in Dighton. And what about Rehoboth? So Rehoboth, again, above asking. We got 3% above asking. So average sales price in Rehoboth, $622,000. Average list price, $608,000. Average days on market, 78 days. But you can't totally go by that, because in the $600,000 to $699,000 range, there was 2 homes, and the average days on market were 224. And then another range, the 1 million, there was 1 home that was listed at $994,500. It ended up selling for an even million, but that home was on the market for 169 days. So other than that, obviously, 78, that was affected widely by those 2 categories. And then one other category that jumped out to me was this one home that was listed at $399,000 and it sold for $360,000. So it went for 10% below asking. And, whether it was that one home or maybe that category is just an area that maybe you could get a deal in, I'm not sure. You'd have to dive more into that because it's tough to say, based off of one home. All right, so let's jump over to Rhode Island. So Bristol, Rhode Island, the average sales price was $927,000. And this was based on 11 homes, but there was 1 home that sold for over $3 million. So that kind of raised up the average in Bristol, but still good numbers in Bristol. And then right next door in Warren, the average sales price was $412,000. And then when I looked at it, it was only based on 3 homes. So I was like, only 3 homes sold in Warren in the last 30 days. So I dived into that, and yeah, that's right. Only 3 homes have sold, in Warren in the last 30 days. And there's only 4 homes active right now in all of Warren. So things are not moving, as quick in Warren. So that was just something I thought was noteworthy. And then the last town to cover in the hometowns, we got Barrington, Rhode Island. So Barrington, the average sales price, $818,000. That was based on 27 homes. But there were 4 homes, that were $1 million plus. So, those kind of could have skewed the numbers up just a little bit also. All right, thank you for watching. So that's it for the market update for the month of July. As I've been typically doing lately, I've been doing the Hot Towns video. So also look for that. I'm going to film that right after this. And that's going to dive into all the hottest towns in Massachusetts in its own separate video. So thank you for watching. Have a great day. See you next month.